journey from Eastern Europe to the Himalayas was neither quick nor easy, but I did not falter. Destiny had called Victor von Doom to the highest mountains, the most dangerous paths of the world, but there would be no turning back. Otto had died, leaving me no more than a clue to the whereabouts of this secret sect of monks he'd come from. The men whose ancient knowledge of science and magic was to be mine. I spent months combing the Tibetan villages along the base of the mountain range, searching for those who knew of the temple in the mountains.
It was my father's father who spoke of them, young seeker, but he never told where they resided.
More months, translating ancient scrolls and tablets, sifting through religious drivel for the answers I sought. Until at last I found something in a charred parchment from 600 years earlier. A reference to the wise ones who had experimented with things beyond mortal ken, and who, upon the outrage of their brothers, had fled to the mountains. A crude sketch mapped their theoretical location high above a nearby temple. It wasn't much, a guess made over half a millennium ago, but it would have to do. If they were up there, I would find them. Survival in the mountains was not easy. I'd grown up around the Latverian Alps, had suffered beyond reason in their harsh climes, but this was a world unto itself. A lost horizon of wind and snow, where the clouds above separated to show that the peaks climbed ever higher still. A man could wander those mountains for a lifetime, a mere 10 meters from that which he seeks, and never even know. But of course, I was no ordinary man. I had my own devices to help my progress. Devices to keep me warm. And to clear away blocked passages. Yet still, even with all my inventiveness and all my willpower, the mountain nearly broke me. It began in my sleep, the cold creeping into my bones, then into my dreams, where it was always so cold it burned.
No.
Your pleas mean nothing, witch. The boy failed you. But perhaps he saved you from the fire after all. Perhaps, like the little fool, you'll freeze instead. And then I'll snap your brittle bones to splinters and use them to pull out his eyes.
No, I beg of you. Let my child be free.
Fool. He is your child, cursed from birth. He was never free.
The mountain. The dreams about Mother that had returned since separating from Valeria. The demon's touch pulsing under my bandages. Given enough time, they would drive me insane. This I knew.
Just a dream. Not Mother. Not real.
And then, my food ran out. So for the next days I wandered, starving, nearly aimless, but always climbing. In the wind, I could hear the voice of the demon whispering.
Join her, Von Doom. Come and join your mother on the altar of blood.
And in the haze of sleet, I could see his shadow stalking me, like the easy prey I had become. But it was not the demon.
No.
The Yeti, a beast of legend. And now, here it was, hoping to make me nothing more than a memory. I had not planned for this, and in my weakened state, it almost made me laugh. I, the great Victor von Doom, had come seeking destiny in these mountains, and it appeared it had found me. That it had left me no choice. But maybe this would not be my last moment after all. It occurred to me, as I smelled the Yeti's burning flesh, that the mountain's attempt to do me in might just be the thing that saved me, assuming I could survive my wounds. That night, I was forced to cannibalize the last of my devices to create a fire. Then I did what I could to bandage my wounds, shutting out the pain of the Yeti's claws. It was not difficult. I had known the touch of claws far sharper. And though weakened from the attack, I knew I must continue. I had to be close. But as I climbed ever higher, I could feel my wounds opening, feel the blood seeping down my side. And I wondered if I was to share the fate of my father, to die frozen in the snow. My last thoughts before losing consciousness were of that day, so long ago, when the cold first crept into my bones. The morning I learned the truth about the world. I know not how long I lay there. Certainly long enough to kill any normal man.
You see his face?
But I do not recall the hands that lifted me from that cold embrace. Nor do I recall the trip to the doors of the sacred temple. I only remember waking a week later, with my wounds healed. Knowing that once again I had succeeded, had done what no mortal man ever could.
He's awake. He survived. Come, everyone, look. He is alive.
And this place of wonder, this lost temple in the mountains, would teach me all I had left to learn. I would surpass these monks. They knew it. And when I did, destiny would be mine to shape. And so days became weeks, and weeks faded to years without notice. Ever was I lost in my studies, and there was much to learn. For centuries, these men had been combining magic and technology almost instinctively, creating devices the outside world could only dream of, until recently. As my studies wore on, I began to lean again towards science, but this time, with the eyes of one who had seen that nothing is impossible, that no laws of our world are absolute. And after 5 years among these monks, the day did indeed come when they called me
Master, we have taught you all our ancient secrets, and still you grow beyond us. Your mind sees answers to questions we have yet to ask. We bow before you, O Great One.
At that moment, I knew the world lay within my grasp, that whatever Von Doom wanted, it would be mine. The question was, where would I start? Let us prepare for a journey. Too long had I been away from the world, and while I knew that my ultimate path lay in the nether realms, I felt that other fates also awaited Victor Von Doom. So I needed to see what shape the world had gotten into since I had left it. And I needed supplies for the things I intended to create. What I hadn't counted on was how much I had changed. Where before, though my heart was not filled with pity for the mass of mankind, I now found I looked at them as nothing more than gnats fluttering in my way.
More rupees! More rupees!
Get away from me, rancid little creatures.
More rupees, please, mister. More rupees.
And I wondered how one such as I had ever sprung from the ranks of men. Surely, it must have been a miracle. The top level of the temple's inner sanctum had become my private quarters, with its tall windows looking out at the endless mountain ranges. And in this place, my servants and I built a device with which I could observe the whole world. A compound screen viewer whose receivers drew signals from radio waves, satellite feeds, television broadcasts, and nearly anything else floating in the ether around us. Nothing was kept hidden from me. I watched simultaneous news broadcasts from around the globe, and I tapped into satellite controls and learned of how Valeria had changed. The man responsible for my parents' death had now taken the throne. I felt bile rise in my throat, hatred for this man suddenly pulsing in my veins.
Our husbands and wives.
But then, I saw something else.
Y otros en Mi Mejor Amigo, este domingo solo por Univisión.
Bus covering fire from there.
Here with Dr. Reed Richards, whose innovative approach to space travel has impacted NASA like nothing since the moon landing.
Richards.
A man who it is whispered in scientific circles may be the smartest man in the world, if not the universe.
Richards.
Oh, that's really exaggerating things. I'm just a man.
Suddenly, the day of my failure in college came back to me. I recalled Richards snooping through my papers, questioning my science. And all at once, I knew Richards was working for the American military, and they must have sent him to sabotage my work. Richards was responsible for the flaws that had allowed the demon to touch me. Richards. Dr. Reed Richards.
After we constructed the multiple screen viewer, the master became eccentric, especially when he saw his old rival's success. From that day on, he insisted we call him Dr. Doom. Some among us found it odd, but he was our master, our leader. We always knew he would not be like other men.
My plans were nearly formed in my mind, the first steps towards my true destiny taking shape, when my dreams returned.
Of course, my lovely Victor.
Your witch of a wife did us all in, were
We're not like other boys.
the black arts and
Cynthia, you must...
To remind me that while I may have considered myself removed from humanity,
Stop this
You
insanity.
say my mother was a
Think
witch,
of your family.
that she brought doom upon you all.
Think of your
Well,
son.
if you cast us out, I swear to you,
Our people are constantly in tatters.
Cynthia, please.
barely one step ahead of the Baron's persecution, I will grow up to be exactly like
If we
her.
had some power.
superior to their masses.
When I'm truly my
Victor's
mother's
life.
son, I'll track you
It
all
could be
down.
better
And
than
the
this.
darkness that she brought will be nothing compared to what I do to you.
Not that kind of power. Be steady, child. Your father is a great man. Oh, my son. He will be fine. How like your mother you are. You!
I shared one thing with them.
And your priest. Stop where you are, gypsy. Put on my coat.
Victor, wait!
They'll give up soon.
Wait for me!
You! You're him! You're that one, dude!
Victor, no, my dress!
Has taken ill,
We'll
so he has sent his men for a heal.
Castle, gypsy.
It's alright, Victor.
What?
I'll return to you soon after I've done what I can for the Baroness.
You seek a reward, you foul creature?
Look at us.
I pray you find one.
We're going to be in so much trouble, Victor.
Their frailty.
Oh, my son, how like your mother you are. And you're greasy. Come, put on my coat.
I awoke overwhelmed. Images of Valeria's face, of the soldiers taking father away, of mother lost so long ago to the demon. These things assaulted my mind, and I was filled with sorrow. My body ached of it. This was the demon I knew, alive in me, trying to prove I was but a mortal man, that he could touch me any time he wished, and I would fall to pieces. This had to be stopped. Von Doom would not be like other men. No emotion, no pain, no cold or warmth would affect me again. Work began the next day.
More fire, you hear me? I need more heat. More!
On my master stroke, using what I had learned in this temple, I would remove myself from this world. I would create a second skin. Adaptive technology would line the inner working of this armor, and an enchantment would seal it from the demon's touch. Would keep him from my dreams, but the cold metal on my skin would remind me of his existence, and that he held my mother's soul captive in his realm. For now.
Let us know if it pains you, Master.
Pain? That is for lesser men. From this day on, I know no pain. Bring me the mask.
It is ready, Master.
Yes, it is perfect. Never again will mortal eyes gaze upon Victor Von Doom. From this moment on, there is only what I have become. There is only... Dr. Doom.
And so, what then?
Then I began claiming my destiny, which I knew must begin in Valeria, the place that had destroyed my family. It was there that Dr. Doom would first make his presence known to the world, where his mark would be left in flame and the blood of tyrants, the blood of lesser men. So I took one of my most faithful servants, Laren, to aid me in my task.
I am honored to be chosen to assist you, Master.
Of course you are. And I flew across the frozen sky on a device of my own making, toward my homeland, far away, plotting the course of my revenge.